You know, last week I did a guide on Glassway. I thought it was a good idea because, there wasn't a lot out there for Glassway as far as breaking down the boss mechanics. Um, Lightblade is completely different. There's like a billion guides out on Glassway, and you know what? They're all good. I'm really probably not going to tell you too much different that you didn't already know, but if you see a guide out there where someone says, hey, do it this way and it'll be perfect in a breeze, they're probably lying to you. It doesn't matter what happens in this. It seems like every playthrough I do, there's something a little bit different that happens. Like, usually, honestly, it's like a boss or Hive Guardian glitching out on me. But anyways, here we go. Here's a few things. Some solo tips, mostly, but not all. There's some Fireteam stuff on here too. First thing, when you load in, if you're not going to spam them with grenades, a safe place to take the boss is up on this statue here. If you have something long range, Wish Ender works great, honestly, against the boss. You can just hit him from here, you're totally safe. And honestly, it doesn't take that long. Now, while you're sitting here watching me pump arrows into this guy's head, a couple things for the loadout. Really, again, bring whatever you're comfy with. A lot of people love Arbalist for this. Arbalist works great for this. I'm using a sniper, usually. Not in this one specific clip, but usually I run a sniper on this one. I should add this season anyways, just because snipers are also a barrier weapon. But other than that, you need something for barriers, for sure. That part's mandatory. There's unstoppables too. Up to you. You can take out this. You can take out the unstoppables with anything from a distance safely. So if you don't want to bring unstoppable, you don't have to. It's completely up to you. There's also lots of arc shields, but there's also an arc burn, so you're probably gonna have something with arc anyways. And there's a few solar shields, and again, up to you. You can do them safely if you want to. It's not mandatory to bring something for solar. It's just helpful. Anyways, after you get the boss to despawn, you can totally skip these two barriers and just head right into that church thingy over there, and all the enemies in this area will despawn. It's up to you. Apparently, I haven't tested this yet. You can skip any two barriers in this entire strike. It's just whichever two you want to skip are up to you. So if you skip these two, you can't skip any more champions, otherwise you won't get platinum. But if you kill these two, apparently you can skip two more, like in the boss room, and still get platinum. Otherwise, you just get into here, throw some grenades, take out this wizard, take out the next wizard. Just keep in mind, wizards are filthy for arc, so they're dangerous. Be careful. Either way, after you kill these wizards, you get to move on to this room. Now this room starts off the same every single run. By that I mean the barriers and light barrier are always in the same position at the beginning. So it's barrier on the left, barrier in the center, light barrier on the right. Now, I always kill the barrier in the center first because he's easiest to get to from the safest position, right here where I'm standing. But after that, eventually, not right away, but eventually one of those two are going to take his place. Sometimes it's barrier, sometimes it's the light bearer. So, notice here where you can run into a problem because of that mechanic is here I went to go take out the light bearer, and there's the normal barrier just jumping in, teleporting honestly, and totally screwing me over. So just watch out, it's a little bit glitchy. They have magic powers, they like to teleport sometimes from the left to the right side. So how I start this room off though is I'll throw a grenade, take out the barrier knight in the center as fast as I can. I got a little bit of protection from that wall, half wall on the right hand side from the light bearer, and then I can throw grenades to the light bearer after that and weaken them enough that I can get in there and do a super, finish him off. So with this room, after you kill enough adds, the next light bearer is going to spawn in right where I'm standing. So be aware of that little mechanic too. It has to do with acolytes. So once you kill enough acolytes, he will spawn in. So I do that, and then I'm gonna run back up to the top there. It's my favorite spot. Some people like going to the far back left of this room, and that's cool if that works for you. Me, I like this spot here because after this guy spawns in, I can retreat. So say everything went bad in that room and I only got the one champion and the light bearer and the other barrier are still there, I can still run back here to take out whoever spawns in, because they'll all run to that entrance of the hallway, and I can take him out from a distance. You gotta watch out for his grenades, of course. And his super, but you can take them all out from there, kill him, and then continue on with whatever else you're doing. Now the thrall that spawned in with him, after you kill them, that's what spawns in the last light bearer. So after I take care of basically all these thrall, not all, like when there's only a couple left, the next last wave spawns in. So again, you can totally retreat down that hallway where you're safe. Now watch out for the light bearer, because he will chuck up grenades way down from the distance there, and it's hard to spot sometimes. So get the hell out when you see a grenade. He'll even throw them way down the hallway from down there, so just be careful. Anyways, none of that's really new, but you can totally do it all safely, just right from this outside room, just chucking grenades, wither horde, whatever you got down the hallway, and it will take them out. Just watch your thing. There you go, we see the light bearer died, and just that's your signal to run in here, squish his ghost. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you take out the sword knights and whatever's left in the room. So if the barrier's still left, you can take him out then. If the original light bearer's still left, you can take him out at this point. Whatever you want to do. So now, if you want, you can run back and grab your sparrow at this point, if you don't have it already. And I'm sure most of you know, if you do want to skip the darkness swamp, sparrow's helpful with that. And you just run all the way to the map to the next loading screen, like outside of the strike zone, basically, and you can get it. Now, if you're with the fire team, make sure you travel to the next checkpoint together, because you will get a loading screen otherwise, and it'll teleport you in, it'll auto kill you, but you'll also lose your sparrow. So just travel together if you're in a team. Yeah, kill these other two champions, no big deal, and then you can take the boat. So if you are taking your sparrows, you gotta put your sparrows on the boat. Don't touch the boat after you kill those two champions, otherwise the boat might start leaving without your sparrows. So put your sparrows on there, leave them at the front, not the back, because they do move around a bit when they're on there. Park at the front of the boat. Now, you just don't want to travel with the boat though, because your sparrows on there. If an acolyte throws a random grenade or whatever, it can destroy your sparrows, and then you're left with no choice but to do the swamp on foot, which, I mean, some of you might not like it. It is easier, which we'll go over with being amped up and all that stuff, but it's just, yeah. Why bother? Why not do it the easy way, right? Anyways, after you get there, you know, you just jump from platform to platform, kill the Shrieker, and this is what I like to do for this part. For me, it's the most simplest, so as long as you're semi-okay with platforming. So jump up here, jump up to this weird hive fountain thingy, and then you can jump up to here from there. And then up there, I'm not sure if hunters can do this. I'm pretty sure a hunter could do this if they really wanted to. Anyways, you can get the ball, dunk it, turn around, go back and repeat the other side. Just don't stick around, because a hive grenade or something might be coming at you. And then you can do the other side here, same way. And then you're good to move on to the next phase. Now, you don't have to kill these champions, but if you want to, not champions, sorry, you don't have to kill these light bearers, but if you want to kill them, same thing, you can still go up here. And for this, I find is the easiest way to kill these light bearer hives, is I just chuck grenades down on top of their heads. Just duck, let them do their thing. A couple grenades later, they're dead. You run down there, squish their ghost. Now, when you're on this side, if you don't know, you can, well, not get killed by just a random acolyte. That would be embarrassing. Wow, miss every shot. Anyways, when you're at the far back here, the guy across from you here, he can't hit you with nothing. So it might look scary, his shield toss coming right at you there, but it doesn't have the range. They will expire and disappear before they get to you, so you can chuck grenades or use your heavy or whatever. Just don't kill him when you're at the other end, because you won't have time to squish his ghost. So just weaken him, come to this side, then squish him, and then you can do your dunk in the orbs or whatever we want to call it. So if you're by yourself and you just want to skip this section and you're not a hunter that can go invis, you can just do your emote on here to hide, and you're safe from the shriekers, the wizards, whatever. The only trick is halfway through the boat's going to slow down, and then it speeds up again and it boots you a bit, and you got to quickly hide again before anyone sees you. That's the only trick, so you just got to be ready for that and be quick. If you're not quick, they're going to spot you and they're going to blast you in the face. Now, if you're with a team and you're bringing the sparrows, I suggest not traveling on the boat at all. You could risk it if you have a hunter that can make you all invisible. That's cool. But if you are bringing your sparrows this way and you don't want to risk it, you're just gonna have to travel on foot here. So let the boat go away before you even go there. You don't want to accidentally throw a grenade on it. But traveling by foot here, not that difficult. It's honestly the easiest way to do it if you are gonna kill everything in here, because you can just do it all from a distance. Especially those wizards, especially if you didn't bring anything solar. For this last bridge, you don't have to kill the Shrieker. You can just all wait till you're there and just travel through the portal together. Now, when you're here, after you go through the portal, it brings you to a perfectly fine spot to kill the Thrall from. And if you did travel on the boat, you just want to jump there. So you all know this part, I'm sure. It's like in every single guide. For me, myself, I like going up here. It's a little dark, so I pull out my ghost. I jump on top of the doorway so a Thrall doesn't like push me off or anything like that. And then you can take it out. Take them all out from here. Now, if your Sparrow's on there, unfortunately, you just can't chuck grenades. You got to take them out with, you know, your normal guns, because you don't want to explode the Sparrow. Now, when you do jump on your Sparrow, you got to travel with the boat, which you'll notice it right away, is you got to move your Sparrow with the boat, and then wait as soon as you're through that hole up ahead, and then you're just going to fall off with your Sparrow. Now, with Sparrows, to avoid fall damage on a Sparrow, you got to do a little side boost right before you hit the ground. And it's super forgiving anyways. And if you fall off, no big deal. Don't panic, just get on and then take off, and then you're home free. Now, if you're doing this with the fire team, only one of you has to make it to the other side. As soon as you make it across and the darkness zone ends, all the enemies will despawn, and then any fire team members that are going on foot only have to worry about the butterflies, which is pretty simple if you're not having to worry about screebs or being slowed by darkness, anything like that. Now, if you don't want to take your Sparrow, though, especially with Arc 3.0, it's not as hard as it used to be, not even close. So you just go to the end, get amped up. So if you're not amped already from killing the Thrall before, you can get amped up from these screebs here. So however you get amped up to you, grenades, whatever your method is, it's fine. And then once you're amped up, just take off running. Now, if you're lucky, you'll be amped up most of the time and can just run through the thing. Half the time for me, you know, I'll hit a rock, or I'll jump, or I'll turn around and I'll lose it. And it's basically not so bad at this time. Still not a sure thing. That's why, honestly, I like the Sparrow a little bit more. But still not like it used to be. Not like it was last time this Lightblade was in rotation. So, and then just make it to the end. I'd like to say easy. It's not easy. But it's doable. Now, some people prefer the left side. I prefer the right side. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever side works for you. If you don't have a side that works for you, try both. If one doesn't work, try the other. Not a big deal. If you're a hunter, you're good to go because you can just spam invis. No big deal. If otherwise, I mean, if both sides don't work, you just take your Sparrow. So you got tons of options to get through this part. Anyways, the next section is the Unstoppable. So there's 3 total. If you don't have an Unstoppable mod on, you can just chuck grenades at them or take them out from a distance. Just like that. So I just spam them with grenades. Same with these guys. Just chuck grenades. Now, the Shriekers here, kill them out. If you see them open while you're chucking grenades or taking out the Unstoppables, whichever way you please, then keep an eye on the Shriekers. If you see them open up, take some shots at them, see if you can get rid of them. Once the Shriekers are down, the boss will despawn. And that's the most important thing, getting rid of that boss, because if you go down there and the boss and Shriekers are still up, it's not 100% safe. And you can't play casual if it's not 100% safe. And then, yeah, I just spam grenades. Once you see the objective change from defeat the Lucent Hive to enter the monument, you know you're good to go. So there might be a few enemies there still, so keep an eye open. But you can go to the boss room, and this is where it's the most fun for this strike. The boss room. It's a blast. So if you're on your own, there's basically one overall theme for this entire boss fight, and it's run your ass off. Just run. Forever run. Not quite, but kinda. So with this boss room, there's a few moments you need to pay attention to. So if we take a look at his health bar, there's a couple stages. So first, there's the thrall, when you get half done 1 damage phase, and then after 1 damage phase, he goes to sleep, and it's light bearer and friends spawn in. And then right after that, 2 barriers, and then halfway through his health, 2 more barriers. Then, when you got him to 1/3 left, he goes back to sleep, and light bearer and friends spawn in again. And then as soon as he wakes up, more thrall. And then when you're almost halfway done, the final phase, the last 2 barriers will spawn in. So those are kind of the spawn points. Remember, when the barriers spawn in, all their acolyte buddies come with them. So they can be a pain too, so take them out as well. You'll find it easier to take out the barriers if you take out his buddies. Now, if you are doing this legit solo, good luck to you. It's going to be a lot of running. You just basically, the method is when the barriers spawn in, you're going to run, you're going to try and just run circles around until you get the boss on the opposite side of the map that you're on, and then take out the barriers. Now, if you don't want to do it legit, like I said, I do have almost a cheese where you can casually take out the boss just with grenades. There's another video for that at the end. Either way though, whether you're with a team or a solo, you want to be able to bait the boss. So whoever has the aggro on the boss can just kite him back and forth from the center to the ledge, and you can just do this over and over again. It makes it safe for the other team. Just watch out, he will shoot every once in a while, and just be ready for that. So keep an eye on his hand. If his hand comes up and he starts shooting, you know, take cover, all that type of stuff. So that's it for that. Now, if you want to do this in a team, there's a few things you can do to make life easier on yourself. So when you drop in here, we'll take a look. There's on the 2nd floor, it's a circle with the Oryx statue at the center, let's say, and you each want to take up positions even out. So this is opposite of Glassway. Glassway, it's easier to be closer together, so the enemies come together. This one you want to be spread apart, so the boss doesn't wipe you with like 1 barrage of his little arc hand cannon there. Just remember, the thrall spawn in halfway through, so take them out. Now, for positions, you want to be spread out. So there's number 1 person will be on the left-hand side there. Number 3 person at the column there, relatively hidden. Number 2 person, let's say, is going to take the boss's aggro. Now, the reason kind of you're positioned that way is so that when these guys spawn in, player 3 has a line of sight to the Hive Guardian to take them out right away, and then also player 1 and player 3 also have line of sight to the barriers when they spawn in. And that's the goal. As soon as the barriers spawn in, you want to attack them. You want to get rid of them ASAP. Now, if player 2 has his aggro, you just want to make sure you stay away relatively from the rest of the players there. Don't all group together like we are here. That's not a good idea, because someone's going to get wiped, and maybe everyone's going to get wiped. Here's just what it looks like from a different perspective of baiting the boss back and forth. So this you can do indefinitely, honestly. So if maybe between barrier rounds you want to do this, just to get everyone a chance to get their super back, I mean, that's not the worst idea in the world. Honestly, that's a good idea, unless you're like going for a speed run. So now, if someone dies, what you want to do is someone has to take the boss's aggro, and the other person has to do the revive. Don't both do the revive. Make sure someone gets that aggro and gets the boss away, just so you can revive safely. Now, if someone's a hunter and they got invis, you know, that's a safe way to revive anybody, of course, but up to you guys. Just make sure someone gets that aggro from the boss, and the other person does the revive. If you have the aggro, stay away from the revive. That's all I'm saying. Now, halfway through, the next round of barriers spawn in, so if everyone's in their position, you will have line of sight to where they spawn in. Just, you'll notice that player 2 who has the aggro, his platform he's usually using, that's where one of the barriers is going to spawn in, so just keep that in mind. Probably don't be on your platform, take the boss somewhere else with your aggro. But player 1 and player 3 can easily take out the barriers from their spots there. Now, after that, you put the boss back to sleep by getting him to his last third of health. Take out the Guardian and, well, the Hive Guardian and his buddies again. and then just prepare for just Thrall. So when he wakes up, it's not a big panic. He will have aggro on the person that he had aggro on when he went to sleep. And then you're good for almost the final phase. So just the last kind of hurdle you have to go through is just the last 2 barriers, which again, if you're in position, just be careful. Now, his head's popped off, so which means he's more aggressive and faster, but that's only your problem if you have his aggro. Yeah, you know, stuff goes wrong sometimes, and maybe player 2 will lose his aggro and he'll come after one of the other players. So if that's the case and he gets aggro on you, you know, bail. Or if you guys are comfy enough to switch roles on the bat with no notice, do that. That works too. Well, and that's Lightblade. So yeah, pretty much identical to any other guide you've seen, I'm sure, for the boss room. There's not much new to tell you, except for the cheese, you know, so if you want to watch that video I made, that would be great. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, totally understand, like, we are not the dream team or anything like that, but this is just basically showing that even casual players that aren't tryhards can still get this one done. So it's just patience, everyone doing their role in the boss room, and it'll work out for you. Now, it might take some practice, but that's cool. Why shouldn't it take some practice? Everything can't be like first try, no problem.